such a strange and amusing place. One day you buy him rocket ship underpants, and then the next they're in outer space. Mama, don't you know you keep the whole world turning round?
Today we're speaking with our friend Monica Bishop. Monica has a 20-month-old son, Alexander, who was born without the ability to hear. We're going to talk to Monica today about all of the things that she's had to go through now that he's 20 months old.
Yes.
Welcome to Mommy Cast.
Thank you. Thank you.
So one of the things I think that I'm really curious about is at what point did you know that there was a hearing problem?
Well, the newborn hearing screening identified him early on that he had a hearing loss. How much of a hearing loss, we didn't know until about a month into it. At that point, he was diagnosed with a severe to profound hearing loss.
I guess I imagine that it's important for them to be able to hear because they're learning language.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Even at that early stage. But so,
Yes.
so what did the doctors recommend that you do for him?
Yes. Well, you want to jump on amplification, whether or not it's a mild loss or whether it's a severe loss or a profound loss. You want to get that going right away so they can have some access to words and noise and make sense of it. So he actually had hearing aids at 4 months. His molds and his testing.
So little.
He was so little, and he had little hearing aids, and like I said, it was a very hard process because between 1 month and 4 months, I would hold this beautiful baby and start singing, and at the time you get kind of lost in yourself and cry basically every time, thinking he can't hear me anyway. Is this worth it? Like, even talking, is it worth it? And is he hearing anything? Is he not? And you just get jumbled up with lots of emotion, especially with newborn emotions that you have just after having a baby.
Right.
You feel kind of all over the board.
How much did the hearing aids help him? Were you satisfied with the hearing aids?
Yes. Well, it was great. He was actually a really, really good at responding to noise with his hearing aids. People were very surprised that from his loss being so high, if this is normal, his loss being so great, he was responding and he was making beginning sounds, and he was in therapy at 6 months old. And so
Wow, really early.
really, really early on. And it was just interesting watching the process of therapy for a 6-month-old.
What exactly is the issue with his ears? I mean, is it a common thing that he's dealing with, or?
No, it's not common. In fact, when a child is diagnosed with a hearing loss, more than likely there's more problems besides just the hearing loss. I've learned that there's craniofacial. What I've learned is that he's a part of a very small group that has just hearing loss as a problem, is what I want to say. So his problem, or the reason why he has hearing loss is his cochleas were developed rotated, and so which makes it so his ear, he just can't access noise through the rotated cochleas. So
when you put a hearing aid on him, is he able to hear sound as we hear sound, or is it just?
He would be hearing at a moderate hearing loss level with amplification. So there's lots of noise, and it's just not good enough, though, to have speech and language. So we went from there to the next step where now there is the Cochlear implant that they've been playing with and implanting.
That blows my mind. I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, so that is a really unique piece, and I in fact brought one today. But it's they're just pushing it younger and younger and younger, and his surgery was at 10.5 months, and so
that is young.
It is young.
That's really young.
His implant works. This is an adult piece of an implant, so I can put it on you if you want. And what you do is you wear it on your ear, just like a hearing aid, but the difference is it doesn't necessarily go in your ear like an ear mold because you're not sending the information through your ear.
Yeah.
The outer piece is a magnet, and so outside on the top of your head, there's an internal piece that magnetizes and sends the information through a device that they've put into your cochlea. So he's hearing really in beeps.
So what are the expectations for his language and speech development now?
Yeah. That's a good question because we've been watching it so closely and doing so many speech and language tests where he's probably about 2 months behind in the all-around picture, but he has excelled in some areas in picking up some consonants as well as the vowels, and so he's doing really well, but now he's getting the second one activated, and so it's going to be another process of training that second ear for a good 6 weeks. He's going to hear beeping.
So interesting. So this
and
one,
you have to
you still have to train the brain to process the other one.
You totally do, and you go through it all over again. Hopefully it'll catch up, but his first implanted ear will be much stronger. for the first few months.
So that, I guess, is one of the reasons why people might choose to do both at the same time.
Yes, if
see.
if you don't have good access with hearing aids, yes, definitely do 2 at one time. But this is such a new thing. It's really only been in the past year or so that they are doing 2 at one time because the surgery is longer, and so that's been the concern.
So I'm amazed that he's only 2 months behind. I mean, that to me is amazing.
Yes,
that given that he's been without hearing
deaf.
for so long.
How does he
deaf.
process music and things?
That's been amazing to watch because we can sit and sing songs as a family, and he'll jump up on a chair and he'll start leading like he's leading the music like any of my other 2-year-olds would have. And so I think that the brain is amazing. And if you give it noise pretty young, I think that it can process, this is music and this is not. And so I don't see that there's any limits for him.
That's
No,
fantastic.
that's really
That's
amazing.
inspirational.
Well, like
Yeah.
I said, I only see him about once a week, and I have noticed just a huge difference in his language ability, too. And he's so cute. He's the cutest kid. But congratulations, I guess, is in order because I think he's doing really well.
Yeah, keep in touch with us too,
Yeah.
and know how he's doing. And
Yeah, and we hope that the next one goes really well.
We do, yes.
Yes.
And we have a lot of tips and things that we've suggested even for kids who have some kind of delayed speech and language development. There's a lot of stuff on the blog that I have linked so people can kind of catch up their child to where they want them to be.
Thanks so much for being here. This has been fascinating. If you'd like to know more about cochlear implants and about Monica's journey, you can check out her blog. We'll have a link from our website, mamacast.com.
Mama, don't you know you keep